guys, that's me back again. So you can see the set which we have actually created. You have seen me doing it on the YouTube already, and the client just come back with it. So you can see the sugar kind of doesn't come off, and that's the stuff what I was talking about. That's even if it's not top coated, it doesn't matter because it just stays on. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do the rebalance on those nails. Just wrap in your hands, and we're starting by removing the color. And then do an infill on those nails. So I'm just putting my fan on, and then I'm just going to remove the color from those nails. So this time on this lady we can still keep the length, but next time we are going to make them shorter. Just because she have a due date. She's got actually fantastic natural nails, like absolutely stunning and beautiful. So when I'm filing the old color off, I'm peeling down the nail folds. I don't want to catch them. And I removed the bulk of the product which is at the free edge. So when we're doing a fresh rebalance and we need to reshape the nails, it's better if we remove a little bit of excess product from the end of the nail. We don't want this place then later on to end up too fat. That was actually a nice and bright, colorful design. But today we're going for something a little bit more subtle. I really like those glittery drips. So yeah, I would file the color off from all the nails, but I'm actually show you the filing at the final set just on a couple of the nails, just so you know how to do it. I'm also supporting the nail as well each time when I'm filing. Because the nails are perfect condition, like the infill is not going to take us a long time. There is no lifting, like no trouble at all with the nails. That's the one which we made that mistake last time, and the last two nails. So really I'm just removing the color, a bit of excess of the product from the free edge. And the thumb. I try to keep the same pressure on the nails as well, like when I'm filing with the e-file, and look at my pinky, I'm supporting my hand with it. Like I don't want to create a holes in a gel, because then you've got much more work to do. Okay, so that's the first messy part done. And my next step is to push back the cuticles. I'm just going to push back the cuticles, which are amazing, like absolutely amazing. They just don't exist really. They really don't exist. Like no cuticles. Okay, tiny bit on the thumbs, but the rest of them is just absolutely perfect. I'm going to remove any tissue which might be on the nail plate. So it's just a very little work. And the e-file I'm using is a K38. So just very little work. Okay, that's the biggest work I've got on the thumb only. This is a kind of clients you really enjoy doing. I think just because like when the natural nails are so nice and the fingers and everything, your work is looking much nicer at the end as well. But I will be showing you guys different type of tutorials, like on very easy clients and then on a really difficult nails as well. Okay, time for some filing. So I'm just etching the edges of my file so it is not too sharp. And now I'm going to reshape the nails. Blend everything around the cuticle area. Now you guys also asked me about the grit of the file I'm using. So for the natural nails 180, and then for the reshaping of the nails both 180 and 100. So this file is a grit 100 by 180, and I'm using both sides. So for the natural nails I would use the side 180, and then for a product like the 100 side is good as well. For the edges I'm using 180 as well, like so it's not too sharp. So really what I have to do only with those nails is etch the surface of the natural nail plate and reshape them a little bit. But it is not the final shape I'm giving at this stage. I'm also trying to file the nails a little bit from underneath as well, so they don't grow down as much. Especially the index finger, so I'm just filing from underneath. And we've got such a nice and quiet day today in here. It already looks much better just by giving those couple of the touches of the file. And the next one. .180 grit is just perfect for the natural nails. Now you will be also seeing me buffing the nails before I apply the gel polish. Now this is really important, like the gel has a different structure to the acrylics. Acrylics files much harder, so if you would buff acrylic, the gel polish might not stick into it, it might chip, but if you buff the gel, it is okay. Because with the gel we will create more scratches than we would do in the acrylics. So the gel has more dust when it's filed, but it's much easier to file compared to the acrylics. So when you're using the buffer, you are smoothing out the acrylic too much, so really watch with that. And that was again a really good questions. I'm reading all the questions and the comments you put, and if there is something really interesting, I will try to answer all these questions. I was also thinking about some Q&A, like when I will be just, I don't know, do it maybe as a live tutorial or something, and answering all your questions from the comments, like pick up the most interesting ones, plus you could also ask me some questions during maybe a live videos. So once I've got a little bit more time, I'm going to prepare the list of those questions. And I'm sorry for taking so long to answer some of them. So at the minute, cameraman is helping me as well, so he will answer some of the easy questions, and then I just go and run through the rest which are not answered. And usually it will be the weekend where I will have a more time to get through all the questions. So an absolutely easy infill. And when the nails are so perfect and so intact, basically all you concentrate on is, like with every single step, you're just trying to improve the shape of the nails, like, and make them as pretty as possible. Again, a little bit file from the bottom of the nail, so it doesn't grow as much down. So remove the dust. and check over for any other shiny places. So now I would take my file and I would check for any wee shiny places. Because when we're doing quick filing, we might maybe miss some place or don't file properly. So this is just like a kind of checking our own work. It doesn't take me long, but it's always making sure like that my nails last really nice and long time. So as you see, it's like a 1 minute extra thing to do, but it's really making the nails last nice time. So I'm just removing the dust, going to dehydrate the nails with the blue scrub. So I'm just going to dehydrate them, clean them well. Apply an extra nail dehydrator. So it only goes on top of the natural nail. Sometimes you can do it at the edges, or if there is any place which might kind of be more prone to the lifting, you could do it as well. And then the universal air bond. And another question was universal air bond. Do I apply it once for easy nails and twice for the problematic nails? Yes, I apply it once for easy nails because it's enough, and then I would apply it twice for the problematic nails. The problematic nails, the most problematic nails are really those nails which are kind of shiny, and even if we give them a scratch, they're still shiny. That's the nails which might kind of tend to lift more, and we are going to use the fiber gel. And for a change, because you guys asked me for the colors as well, so this one is a soft pink. It's kind of like an pink. It's not the light rose, which you have been seeing me using quite a lot. So this one is a soft pink. It's just so you know the colors. Like, there is quite a few, but my favorite ones are light rose as a number 1, which is my favorite one, and then the next one after that is the soft pink, then the transparent pink, and the clear one. I don't use it much, to be honest. So nice and thin layer, wrap around the nail and press it into the natural nail as well. Like, press it really nice into the natural nail. So nice and thin layer. And I'm really cupping the free edge by, like, when my brush roll over it, I'm cupping the free edge inside. So nice and thin layer. Pull those nail folds down, because your free edge is also at the sides as well. So this is my free edge too. And actually this is the more important free edge. The one, like those places here, are more important than the free edge, which we always cup in here. And that's why I pull the nail folds down. Like, sometimes I see nail technicians holding clients' fingers like this. No, you need to hold it there so you can pull this nail folds down. And with this finger, I'm pulling this places down. Perfect change. And we are going to do the infill. So another layer, nice and thin. Nice and thin. Might do 2 at the time. It's quite warm. And my clients' nails are really warm as well, like the hands. So that means the gel is more runny. Now the finger goes down a little bit, so the gravity helps you. And really what I have to do is move back my apex and fill up those empty wee space. Smooth it out. Okay, fill up tiny product. at those wee empty space. Smoothed it out. You can see the side view as well. Change. And then on this hand, I'm only going to do it one nail. And the reason for it is the gel cures in 60 seconds and it will be quicker than my lamp. So I need to do the right hand sooner than I do the left hand. Otherwise, I will have to wait for the nails to cure. Change. So nice and thin layer. And a whisk up. We're really just filling up the apex place. So nice and thin. And the gel is so runny, like I don't have to massage it. Change. You have seen me working with different conditions of the weather, like, you know, sometimes when it was really hot, when I have to work so fast for the gel to don't run, or when you have seen me also really cold weathers when I have to spend ages massaging the products. But I love when it's like this one, because you don't have to do anything. The product works for myself. Change. And then the thumb. So nice and thin layer. Nice and thin layer. And a scoop to fill up the gap. So first of all, when I'm starting, I'm pressing very gentle on my brush, and then I smooth it out with the bigger presses. If it's needed, you can kind of touch up some places more. Change. Okay, so this way my right hand is fully done. And I've got 60 seconds, because that's how long the thumb needs to cure. I've got 60 seconds to apply the gel on those 3 nails and then swap the hands. I kind of always tend to do it this way. So I would apply nice and thin layer. Like making sure the entire nail is covered. Now fill up my gaps. And it's so warm, like that's the gel just works for me. Perfect. Change. Okay, so this hand is all done. I'm just going to remove the inhibition layer, and I show you on 1-2 nails how I shape, do all of them, and then come back to you with the design. So I always file the nails the same way, nice and straight, nice and straight. So this way I know where the filing lines are and how to shape the free edge. I'm really thinking about every single step I'm filing. Blend everything around the cuticle area, and you really want to blend that well, because if it's nicely blended, it's not going to lift. Smooth it out a little bit. check the hairline, and basically this nail is finished. Like, I just need to buff it, so I will remove any imperfections. Okay, by creating those straight lines, I know if the nail is straight or not, and I know where to shape it. Sometimes you cannot file the free edge until you file it from the top, because if it's not even, the free edge is not going to look even, and that's what I'm doing on this nail now. I'm smoothing out from the top first so I can shape the free edge. Blend everything. And move into the next one. So the gel is very easy to file. I don't have to even put much of the pressure. I think that's why I like the gel as well compared to the acrylics. Okay, smooth it from the top so we can see what we're doing with the free edge. And if I'm unsure something, I might leave it and then file it more when it gets time for a buffer, and touch it up a little bit more. Now this nail needs to get up a little bit. That's why I have filed it from underneath. Yeah, now I can take a buffer. So the first buff I can go a little bit faster. And look how I'm holding a client's fingers. I'm really protecting those folds. So even if I go faster, there is no way I can catch a client's skin. And then once I have done this step, I would of course do it on all the nails. I would go very slowly, like the buffer edges are really sharp. So very slowly to blend everything around the cuticle area. Because you don't want to see the place where everything is starting. And then touch up the free edge. Okay, then this nail is finished. I can do the same on this one. And it's nothing wrong if you just pick up the file again. Like if you find there is some place which might be too long to buff it, just take a file and do it with the file. Okay. Perfect the free edge. Just those small touches. And the next one. It's almost like brushing away also any dust which might be stuck in those sides. Blend everything in here so you don't know where the product is starting. And the last one, and the rest I will do it on my own and then come back to you once it's a time for the design. And I really find it the buffer is not as strong as the file, so you can really perfect your free edge and the shape of the nail. And it's tend to go, because it's bigger, it goes kind of more evenly on the nails, because sometimes you could keep filing and you never stopping filing, because you might overfile some place or not file enough the other place, but usually we tend to overfile, so it's a never-ending story. We could sit and file the nail like for 3 hours and we would be never happy. Just get rid of the file and take a buffer and buff it kind of like without of pressure, like as much this way, so you can create a much nicer shape of the nail without of overfiling some places and eventually be happy with it. Okay, I'm just going to do all this step on the rest of the nails and then come back to you. Yeah, so that's the nails filed, and now we are just going to do the design. It's nothing overly too complicated. So I've got 155 gel polish, and it's really my favorite color, like one of my favorite colors. It just goes with everything. Just checking the focus. So the design is going to be on the ring finger and on the middle finger, and the rest of the nails is going to be plain. So I'm just painting a first layer of this beautiful color. And I had it on my nails so many times, like, and it's absolutely amazing. It just goes with everything. On this one we are going to do two-way ombre with some white squiggles. And I show you another way how I do it quite often in the salon, and I find it is pretty quick way. You can use it any color, so even black and white, you could do red and white, any kind of color works this way with this technique. I've got a tiny bit of something in there. That's it. So I didn't want it that, because that will really disturb my color application. The nail plate needs to be completely clear, like no dust, bits and pieces, nothing. And the next one. Again, with the gel polish application, yes, I'm capping the free edge as well. And the side. I actually set up the camera again. I'm not sure if it's in focus. So that's the focus back. Yeah, the focus is back, and it's really back now. So before the painting, you can also give an extra cuticle push as well. Camp the free edge. And this color is amazing. So you can see I'm also peeling those nail folds down when I'm painting. So relaxing and quiet. I think the design which we are doing today is a kind of design I could wear on my nails all year round, because you cannot go wrong with this color and the tiny bit of the white squiggles. Change. And if we're really fussy about the application around the cuticle area, you would go and push it back again. And apply the color again. So when we was doing some filing, my lady says like it is so relaxing that she could fall asleep. Trying to catch the focus. Come on, don't catch my glove. Ah, so sorry guys, I have no cameraman. It's so hard like to. It's just catching my gloves like and doesn't want to. Oh, come on, catch the nail, don't catch the glove. Yeah, I got it. Gosh, it's so bad, like trying to do both. And I think the most difficult part is because I'm so concentrated what I'm doing on the nails, I really don't have a time to watch what is going on in the camera all the time. So it's only once or sometimes when I check how the things look in there. And the last one. Change. Now for the ombre we are going to use the usual paint on French gel. And I love this gel just because it's so highly pigmented that this is the easiest way for me, like, and the quickest way to do the ombre. I can't imagine using a different product for it. But this is definitely the quietest tutorial I have ever recorded in a salon. But it is like, it went much quieter, like in general, and the salon is much quieter. It's definitely not the same like it was before the pandemic. I think still people are scared, like, to come in and enjoy the treatments, I think. I bet you guys the same. Okay, and the last one. And then the exciting part, which you have been waiting for. And my lady loves when she got a surprise on the nails, so she still doesn't know what she gets. Yeah, change. Yay! So I've got a tiny bit of the foam and some sponges from Primark. And they actually, guys, best sponges for the ombre. Like, I find them the best one. The paint on French gel. Oh gosh, this is so not in focus. Okay, I have actually discovered what is wrong. Obviously, because I've got gloves on, I cannot press focus in, like on my phone, because the gloves don't read me at all. But yeah, now we manage. Okay, so I've got my nails painted, and then the paint on French gel. Yeah, this is much sharper now. Yay! See, I'm learning, guys. I'm all the time learning. And what I'm going to do is just slap in 2 spots on my gel polish. So I'm actually glad, because this is the most important part. Now, I've got back of the form, and I'm going to make sure there is no dust or not fluffy bits. And now we are going to do those beautiful ombre. So I'm just taking a client's nails, and I'm starting getting and absorbing my paint on French gel into the sponge. I don't want lots of color to be at my first blending part. Each time when you find some fluff, just clean it. So the first part is hardly any product on. Okay, so at this part you can see it's just a very tiny bit of the product on there. And I'm just going to do it the same in here. Any fluff, just touch it on the form. Perfect, change your hands. And we're going to do exactly the same. So if you would apply the top coat and buff it and then do this part, it would even be probably quicker and nicer. because they wouldn't be inhibition layer from the gel polish. And this would be really important if you would do it in the darker colors, like say, I don't know, black and white, say example. With the Swatch's nude color, you can get away with the blending because it doesn't stand out as much. But on the black and white, I would definitely put the top coat first, buff it, and then do the ombre change. Okay, round 2. So I'm applying the Paint on French gel again. Take a sponge. Don't go as high as you did with the first one, because you want to have those color difference. And you have seen me, guys, working with the different sponges as well, so it doesn't matter really what type of sponge. It's a really matter of the practice. Once you do a couple of times, you will get hang of it and you will know how to do it. Change. So the first movement, I would say I kind of rub it in, and then the next ones I'm more dabbing than rubbing. Okay, so just dab, 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 dab. Perfect change. Now, to save myself a time, I'm going to apply the top coat already on those nails. So top coat, press hard. This way I'm capping the free edge. And then press hard again. The reason why I'm applying top coat is I want my white to cure a little bit longer, so I don't smudge it, because this is pretty important. If your white is not cured properly, you are going to kind of take it away with a sponge before the next layer. Gosh, I'm not sure that that makes sense. My client is laughing. I mean, guys, sorry. What I meant is, like, you have to make sure the first layer of the white is properly cured before you apply the next layer. Otherwise, you will, with the sponge, you will remove the first layer. That makes sense now, yeah? Change. And so this hand has cured a little bit longer with the top coat application, and I'm just going to do the final dab dab. Dab dab. Just to get a bit more pigmented at the ends. And apply the top coat as well. So a really very elegant and beautiful set. Got something there. Oh, breakfast time. Change. I'm so horrible, like, and work. And it's only 4:30. I used to be really good, actually, because Patrick was doing those bodybuilding competition. So he would cook like 6 meals a day, can you imagine? But I was the skinniest in all my life. Like really nice and skinny. And now all the irregular eating is not good. Now the ombre part is done. And now is the time for a tiny bit of sparkle. So I've just got some glitter. And I'm just going to put this glitter on those beautiful ombre. So I'm cleaning my brush. I'm going to put a couple of the sparkle. Really random way, like just a couple sparkles on the corner. And you cannot go wrong with the sparkle. You just put them in. Okay, so just the sparkles in. I didn't apply the gel polish on my fingers, on my nail. Perfect change. And I'm going to do it exactly the same on those nails. So just a little bit of sparkle. I think there is never too much sparkle. I know it looks ugly, but it's not finished. My lady is laughing now as well. It looks ugly because this glitter is not nice, but I just want it more to the one side. It will look really pretty once it's finished. Actually, most of the designs, like before they finish, you don't know how they look change. So I want the kind of small 3D look into that. So I'm going to apply the top coat now. So top coat on the entire nail. Change. And the top coat on those nails. I think this design will also go with any kind of other color. I think like an pastel-y blue, turquoise, absolutely any color. Something very universal. So if you have tried this design, just hashtag Dorota Palicka and I will be really happy to see it as well. Perfect, so I'm just waiting a couple seconds longer. I've got the back of the form in here and I'm going to put the paint on French gel in there. So just a small drop. Clean it, change. And now we are going to paint this design. I might try to zoom it because we're only going to paint the design. Okay, so I have just tried to get you more into the focus. And I'm picking up the small amount of the paint on French gel. I'm just going to paint a couple squiggles. So it's almost like a letter C. So 3 letters C. Here again 1, 2, 3. Here another one. 1, 2, 2, 2. Something on the top. So now you can see the glitter isn't as visible. And what I love about this brush, that it does the work itself. Again, wave, prolong it. Wave, prolong it. Wave, prolong it. Wave, wave, prolong it. and we have created kind of like very simple design. Couple of the dots, and you can't go wrong with the dots. Dots are amazing design fillers. I'm just going to paint exactly the same on this one. So press hard, gentle, hard, gentle, hard, gentle. Hard, gentle, hard, gentle. Something more to the middle. Something on the opposite side. On the top. I think it will look also fantastic for Christmas. Not that, I mean, Christmas is still far away, but actually not that far, not as far away. A nice wintry kind of design, not over the top. Wave, wave, prolong it. Wave, wave, prolong it. And couple of the dots. Now with the dots you have to be very careful when you're using your good brush. The brush I'm using is the D-liner one. I'm so glad I have made the focus again. This is so amazing, visible like in the camera now. And ta-da! I'm not going to top coat this part of the design because I wanted it to be those kind of 3D look. So change your hands. And we are going to paint exactly the same on this hand. Wow, we same in focus. So three. And I love it because you always kind of do it right, like you cannot make a mistake with this one. And I suggest you kind of work out through your own pattern. This way, it is the easiest way to learn how to do the swirls. You just do whatever is comfy for your hand. And I find that this one is the kind of easiest one for me. Because I can squeeze, like kind of twist my hand in the right directions. And I can also get the client's hand into the right directions too. So one. And then some kind of back fillers, like a wee swirly part. And a couple dots. Okay, so that's this one finished too, and exactly the same on this one. So harder, smaller. And obviously the more you press, the more product you are going to leave, and the less you press, the less product you are going to leave. I really like those type of designs, like for a salon work. Because it's not over the top, but it looks pretty. And to be honest, my clients, like, they don't walk with, I don't know, Christmas trees on their nails, or they don't walk like with any kind of heavy designs. They prefer those kind of, hello, they prefer those kind of little like not over the top designs, so this is just a perfect combination. I'm going to cook this hand. The other one is ready, so change. And yeah, I'm going to show you the final look. So because the paint on French gel has a little bit inhibition layer, I have to use the UV cleanser just to remove those little bit of the inhibition layer, and then clean client's hands and take a nice thumbnail picture for you guys. So I'm just cleaning it nice, so they look all pretty. And yeah, this is the set which we have created today. So I hope you have really enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. Also, let me know what you think about the Q&A, like on kind of live versions, or maybe a recorded one where I just pick up like the most interesting questions, because you do really ask me an amazing questions, and I think it will be a fab idea. But yeah, glittery hacks, and bye for now.